Hi everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to everyone. Today we're going to do a little photo project, and it is going to be the start of journal card series. I thought this would be a nice introduction. First, the usual housekeeping, and I hope I can have 5 minutes of your time to relate to you. It's something that happened last week that I'm still recovering from. Okay. Thank you to Andrea, Jean, and Sylvia. Different spelling there, Sylvia. Very nice. Andrea, thank you for the wonderful comment. She was referring to Atlantic by the Sea. These are the most beautiful papers I've seen in this genre, and unfortunately I discovered something. I'm updating my products, and I updated that one to PDF only, deleted the old product, and then realized that all of my reviews would be gone once I did that. So I saved that one in my in your message to me. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I did a new kit, or a new ephemera. What's it called? Random word strips. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is a utility ephemera that you will use over and over again, and I will use over and over again. And I printed this page at 50% to illustrate that you can print this any size. This is the one that was least likely to be readable if I went 50%, but it's still readable. So I probably wouldn't go below 50%, but 50% is fine. So you can have some variations, and in this particular one I left it full color instead of I felt if you wanted it black and white or sepia, you probably have the wherewithal to do that yourself. So I just made it 3 pages. Okay, today we're going to do a photo project, and I have some freebie photos for you in a PDF, and I'll get to that in a moment, but please bear with me. Last week on Halloween, I had the most horrific experience. Let me start out by saying he's still alive, because when you hear it, you'll probably be mortified. It was about 10 p.m. My husband came home. He was sick. He had chills. He just was sick. I relayed what happened to our daughter earlier that evening during trick-or-treat. Took about 5 minutes, and then because that night was going to be our first snowfall, and it was, and it actually stuck, I knew the cats don't like the cold, so I called them. One came in, and when I opened the door, I heard a strange noise. I thought it was like a duck or a bird or something. So I put on my coat and I went out, and I saw my cat head crushed under the garage door. Just his little head was sticking out, and it was him. He was trying to breathe. I screamed, ran in the house, opened the garage door. He let out a blood-curdling shriek, the cat, that is, and that's all I remember. My mind just shut down in panic, and I just could not function. I honestly thought he broke his neck, and my husband was just sitting there until he died or was putting him out of his misery. My mind just literally shut down in panic, and I think I actually have PTSD from another experience, but I'll get to that in a moment. But my husband told me a couple days later he wasn't moving, so we just picked him up, and he was holding him, and then he began moving, and he put him down, and he was walking a little bit, very, very shaky, and I can't remember, an hour or two later he came to find me. My daughter ran into the basement in panic. She would not come upstairs. We were both just, my mind was just gone. It was the most horrifying thing I ever saw. And so my husband came in and found me after a couple hours and said he was walking, and I finally got the courage to walk out, and we got him some water, and he was drinking, and then another hour later, I thought I would try a little food. He ate, but what it seemed like, we checked all his limbs, everything, we checked everything, nothing was broken. The only thing we feared was internal bleeding. However, from what I could see in the dark, it appeared to be his neck and his shoulder area, and nothing was broken, it seemed. We were just keeping an eye out all night for internal bleeding. And then he ate, and then over a few hours he began to walk a little better. It was kind of like he was probably either twisted himself trying to wrangle free, and was just extremely sore. And maybe when he heard the garage door open, he just fainted. I don't know. He just went into shock, or just from not being able to breathe. I don't know. But then by morning, he was walking a little better. And we thought, what are we going to do? We'll just wait. And our vet is actually an hour away. And we do not like the local vets. We go there to put an animal down or an extreme emergency only. And we just thought, well, if he had internal bleeding, he'd probably be dead by now. This was 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody slept, of course. So finally, since he was walking better and better, and he went to the litter box and did both. So that was a good sign. We didn't see any blood or any fluid or anything coming out of any orifice. So we just decided, well, we can wait till 2 or 3, and if he doesn't get worse or something, we still have time to call the vet. So that's what we did, and then by that time he was walking better, he was eating. He just wasn't, he was just very quiet and subdued, and but it appeared he survived. And then we decided not to go, and then with each passing day he got better and better, and now he's back to normal. And words can't even say how thankful I am for that. Words can't even say. I just love him, and if I lost him, I don't even think I would be here today, because it was just horrific. Absolutely horrific. And it was, the only thing I can think is they heard my husband come home, they ran in the garage. When my husband shut the door, one ran out and went to go to the front door, and the other one followed him, because he always follows him, and he just didn't make it in time. Either that, or he saw the other one walking toward the door and decided to follow him, and he was the only one in the garage. And being darker, my husband just didn't see him. My husband always sees them when he pulls in the driveway, but being cold, maybe they were on the other side of the house under the bushes or something. I don't know, but it was just terrible. But it had a happy ending, and I'm so grateful to God for that. I am so grateful. So, okay, I'll get to the rest later, but today's project is journal cards, and we're going to be using old photos. And I told you last week I was waiting for something in the mail, and I was. And these are what I got on eBay. And I'm just going to thumb through a few of the bigger ones here for you. I mean, I just love these. I'm so thrilled. I forget how much they were. I think I got about 100. And they were in a lot. And oh, by the way, I saw this at Sunset Crafts and More. And I will put the link so that you can see hers. And mine are a little different. Didn't want to copy specifically. But I have a few here. I might finish embellishing these today, and I have a couple here. And I have these here for you in a PDF, and this one I printed on photo paper, and this one I didn't. But maybe we'll do one of these if I decide to take the time to cut it out. But and I'm going to show you another thing about a quick way to make homemade washi. And I did not write down the name of that site where I saw that. But you can use these to do this project if you desire, or if you have your own, or if you like to go on eBay or Etsy and try to find some. So this is my first one, and it has some of the homemade washi on there. Let me stand up here and see if you can see it. And I just put a little tab on the top and a eyelet, and this one I stamped on. And then there you see you have the back for writing. She backed hers. I did not, because I didn't want to hide some of the text that was already on there. And this one is from 1940. So I love these. Truly love them. So this is a lot of fun. So what you'll need are your photos. Well, maybe I did choose one. I think I'm going to do this one of the little boys today. And then maybe I'll cut out one of those, that little girl. We'll see. But isn't that cute? So you'll need your photo, some eyelets if you want. I did make some new tiles. Whatever you want to decorate. I have some little scrapbook to make some tabs. I have some scrap paper. I have some more labels. I have some stamps. This one I did stamp on, and I used stays on, so probably you want to use stays on. So, what else? Some glue. I used my stapler to staple my tabs because I liked the look of it being more industrial. And I think that's it. Some glue. Scissors, the usual. Okay, so I have some stamps and some backing if you desire to back yours. But as I said, I did not do that. So I guess I'm going to start by I think I'll use this matte paper and make a little tab for the top. Now she used fabric for a tab, but as I said, I didn't want to copy, so I'm using paper. There goes the phone. I hope that's not my husband calling from the grocery store. So yes, it's been quite the week. We all got sick. I got it, I think I'm going to make this tab a little taller. I got it, thought I was over it, or didn't think I would get it that bad, put it that way. No, that's not straight. Didn't think I would get it that bad, and then I did. My daughter, too, ended up with the same symptoms as him. One day freezing cold, and then the next, the usual cold symptoms. It wasn't terrible. Put it that way. It wasn't terrible, but just uncomfortable. And then what happened to her, which I wouldn't have even spent 5 minutes calling the cats. But I was telling him what happened to her. fell. I don't know why. She tripped. She was wearing a mini skirt and a patch over her eye. She fell and broke her glasses. She can't see worth crap without her glasses. So she, I should have turned that sideways because one side is upside down on the back. So she came home crying, not pounding on the door. I thought someone beat her up or something. That's how upset she was. Thought she ran into some Halloween hoodlums or something. And she was just losing it because she broke her glasses. And well, she also skinned her knees pretty bad because she was wearing a mini skirt. And so she was bleeding her hands and knees when she hit the cement. And I mostly think she was just kind of upset and embarrassed. I don't know how many people were around when that happened, but I think the house it happened was one of the most Halloween popular in the neighborhood. So she might have had a full crowd to enjoy her. Not enjoy, but witness her fall. And I'm just going to staple these again because I liked the effect. Okay, so that was no biggie. If they didn't have the lenses didn't break, and if they didn't have the frames, she would just get a new pair, and that's what's going to happen because of course they still didn't have the frames. So I would kind of like to add some color to this, but I don't feel like rooting around for some more color. I'll just add the color at the end. So, the homemade washi tape. Now, she did this on numerous materials. I could only get it to work on a few. So what you'll need is tape, and she used matte, what's it called? You know, matte hidden tape. What's it called? Not glossy. I can't remember. So, as I was trying it, I'm trying to read here for some nice words. Okay, I'll take this, I guess, because it has the word friends. As I was trying it and realized it wasn't working on book page, this particular book, when I peeled it off, you're going to put it on there, keep a little tab to hold, burnish it, and when I peeled it off, the text came with it. So that I thought that was pretty cool. The worst part is unrolling it. Come on. Okay, let me get this. Let me get this in a nice place. And I really wanted, I was waiting for these all week. and I really wanted I thought this was a great idea. So I'm going to do it again here. The most luck I had was on digital printouts and magazines because it would tear the paper off. And I don't know if it's just this particular tape, if they make it differently now. You can unstick your tape without it tearing something. You're going to put it on there and hopefully it works. Get it burnished a little better. Of course, now you're not going to work. Maybe I can't go this way. Maybe I have to go against the grain. Oh jeez, yeah, I'm getting it, but I'm not getting what I want. So let me try that again. I want that 1876. You know what? I'm just going to move on so I don't take too much of your time. But it's one of those things that I'm having a hard time. There we go. So I hope you can see that. Still see through. And then you just apply your glue to the back. Now she said you can't store these, but you can put these on a piece of wax paper and store them. Because, you know, I'm guessing she assumed because of the sticky side. I'm just gonna go, no I can't, I'll cover him up if I go there. Don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna go over, cover up the legs a little bit, but that's okay. And then you can embellish as much as you want. Let me see. Don't want to cover up that word friends. It's a little too thick. Okay. Just gonna snip that off. Because that wasn't straight. It didn't cut that straight. Get that a little straight, more straight. Cut that off a little more. So I'm gonna go, I guess about right there. Are we 30? I'm just going to take 5 more minutes. Unless you want to spend more time with me, which I wouldn't mind. I'm going to tell you why I think I have PTSD. I'm sure I probably told this before, but during the lockdown, we had a sick cat, and we managed to get in the vet the day before they closed. And they couldn't do anything because they were closing the next day, couldn't do any tests, couldn't keep him, couldn't do anything except hand us a bunch of medicine that didn't do anything. And this says, in the meantime, we're happy. So I think I'm going to snip that off and add that to the front. It's been sitting on my table for a week because I realized I wanted to save that. So anyway, they couldn't do anything. And I had to watch my cat die. And it was my daughter's first pet. We were kind of at the stage where we didn't want any more pets. I can't remember if our last dog had died at that point or not, but if not, they were aging and we knew what was coming, and maybe they had died, and we just decided to let her choose a pet. Okay, I'm going to put a little mark here in the center so I can put a rivet eyelet. That is something I did get with my craft show earnings. Something I was kind of on the fence about because I don't use them that often, and if I needed to, my husband could use my tool for me to set an eyelet. It's not that I didn't have a tool, just had one that I couldn't use myself. But I will say, this one is so much easier for me, and since it has a heavy duty punch, I hopefully won't be going through so many punches. So I'm going to go off screen here probably to set this, just because it's easier. And you know what? I don't think that one's thick enough. But it's not coming back out, so that's going to have to do. Okay, so anyway, where was I? That was my daughter's cat. Had to watch him die. Had no idea what happened. I think he was a bruiser. Big, healthy, very muscular. And what am I looking for? I thought I had another little label here. I could have swore I had brought 3 over here. Anyway, he was very healthy. Let me just see if I can find some little thing to put on here for you. Oh, there it is. He was healthy, and then one day he just quit eating. And then later on, I honestly could not figure it out, and it was kind of driving me crazy. The only thing I could think is that he got poisoned, like someone put out, either from antifreeze or something they put on the roads, or it's going to hang down over his eye. I don't know if I like that. I think I'll find something smaller. So I decided to look up the food that I switched to right after the lockdown. And sure enough, several people said this killed my cat. And one of them, I Googled it, and then one of them I saw on Amazon. I'm going to see if I can press this a little more because it's not going the whole way through. And anyway, no, it's not pressing anymore. Well, that's a kicker because, okay, it's not moving, but so anyway, I saw one on Amazon and they said the symptoms were exactly the same. And if I remember correctly, it was not too long after that where all these companies started saying they were not going to import pet food from China anymore. Or all chemicals come from China, but so I still don't know, so I probably shouldn't speculate, but that was what happened. He just quit eating, and wonder what that would look like if I just use a tiny square and put a hole in it. And that's what I suspect, because there was no other reasonable explanation. And it was a terrible experience. So I think in my mind I just got triggered, not to mention it was just horrific. And just had a major meltdown. Because it's not like I haven't been through I've had at least 13 cats, 14 maybe. Can't even remember how many. So it's not like I haven't been through some horrific cat experiences, if you know cats. Okay, so where are we? 41. Okay, I'm just going to stamp on the back of here to give you an example of that. And then I'm going to call it a day. If I can get these stamps open. Limited edition. That's what I'm fidgeting. And I think I want gray. I think I'm going to stick with subtle. Well, that's a little crooked, but that's fine. Let me do a little of this. If it turns out. No, maybe I'm going to put a number. Okay, let's see. Hopefully that's right side up. 8. R. Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't want this to be so overly long and all of that, but these are so cool. I really wanted it to be a very cool start to the journal card series. I do have at least 2 more. So let me put this over so you can see them. Okay. So you see the homemade washi. The lady with that little baby deer. The 3 kids and the girl. Okay everyone, don't forget to grab your freebie. I will not put this in just for you. I will put it in a PDF link in the description, and I hope you'll have some fun crafting along with me, and thank you for the extra time. Next time, second in the series journal cards, I have at least 3, and they will all be things I haven't seen before as far as journal cards go, and maybe at the end if I run out of ideas, I'll end up putting in something familiar and just trying to put a different spin on it. We'll see. But thank you again for your time. I'll see you next time. Bye.